Knowledge seekers, enthusiasts, and leaders of tomorrow. Welcome to today's episode of the Student's Journal. Our today's topic is types of cost. Without further ado, let us begin, and as usual, buckle up. Let's think of a happy scenario. It was your childhood dream to own a bakery. Your mother was a great baker. Throughout your life, she has fed you a lot of delicious cakes, cookies, and a variety of desserts. So, isn't it quite natural that you develop a fondness for such delicacies? With your great passion for learning, growing, and of course baking, you have been planning to open your own bakery. You thought a lot about what to name your shop, and that's when it occurred to you. Why not name it after your mother's favorite cookies? And so there it is, your own little shop, Gingerbread Bakery. However, how difficult and challenging is it to run a business? How should you advance? What should you do? What shouldn't you do? When will these questions end? Whoa, hey there, let's take a deep breath, shall we? Instead of thinking about questions, let's focus on answers. You wanted to start a business, let's admit it, because you want to make a profit, don't you? And how exactly do you make a profit? You make profit when your business has more revenue than cost. And today we will discuss about costs. As the saying goes, know thy enemy. No wait, cost isn't the enemy. Then who is? We'll get there later. Before we begin, there are two terms we should be familiar with: fixed costs and variable costs. These are the two main types of costs a company bears when producing goods and services. For any business, fixed costs refer to costs in the production process that do not change with the amount of output. They are independent. Examples can be the rent and the salaries paid by Gingerbread Bakery. You have to pay off the rent of your shop and the salaries of your staff regardless of how much you produce or sell. Let's say your rent is $3,500 per month. You have to pay that at the end of the month, even if you sell absolutely no units. Variable costs are those that change with the level of output. Examples can be the ingredients needed for baking, such as flour, milk, and sugar. The operating costs of ovens and refrigerators are also variable costs of our bakery. Let's say you want to make 20 jars of cookies in the first month and 40 in the second. Of course, you'll need more resources to make 40 jars than 20, so your variable cost will increase. Another example can be commissions. Assume Gingerbread's supplier operates at a $15 commission rate. So he sells you $3,000 worth of goods. He gets a 15% commission, and that's for $50. If he sells you for $1,000 worth of goods, he gets $600. So total cost is the sum of your fixed costs and variable costs. So let's say for the first month you paid a rent of $3,500 and salaries of $1,000. Your total variable cost was around $2,000. So your total cost for the first month was $6,500. Marginal cost is the additional cost of producing one more output. In your bakery, this can be the cost of producing one additional cookie jar. The marginal cost is equal to the change in the total cost divided by the change in output. To help us understand this better, let's look at the following chart. For any level of output, your fixed cost will remain the same. Variable cost, of course, will increase as your number of output increases. So your total cost increases with the level of output. Marginal cost is the cost to produce an additional unit. So when you produce 1 unit, your marginal cost is $10. When you produce 2 units, additional cost is $5. When you produce 3 units, the price difference between an output of 2 units and 3 units is $9. Now we'll complete the chart. Let's take a look at per unit costs now. Whenever you'll come across these terms, you'll encounter them in their acronyms. For the example, we'll be referring to the chart we just discussed. AVC, or average variable cost, is the total variable cost per unit output. So the AVC for 4 units is $36 divided by 4, which is $9. And the AVC for 5 units is $56 divided by 5, which is $11.2. AFC, or average fixed cost, is the total fixed cost per unit output. So the AFC for 2 units is $10 divided by 2, which is $5, and the AFC for 4 units is $10 divided by 4, which is $2.5. ATC, or average total cost, is the total cost per unit output. So ATC for 5 units is $66 divided by 5, which is $13.2. Dearest knowledge seekers, thank you for tuning in with us. We genuinely hope this video was helpful to you. This video was the first part of our 3-part series, which include economics of scale and diseconomics of scale on the next 2 episodes respectively. We sincerely hope you will join us again in the students' journals, where our adventure of your own gingerbread bakery will continue. Happy learning.